Alright, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to teach you every single quick peek that still works today and that you can use to win more gunfights and boost your KD and rank. I'm going to start off with more basic ones and then I'm going to go to the more advanced later on in the video, so make sure you stick around until the end because the last one is broken and when you peek, your head is not visible when you swing, but you can still see and get info. So the first peek and the most basic peek is the simple AD strafe, which is when you go up to an angle and then you simply just like AD around the corner. You press your A key to move out and then your D key to move back, just to get enough info on the angles. So let's say I want to see if anyone's in CC or anyone's peeking that door. I want to quickly jiggle it like this. It's a very basic peek, but it still works to this day, and it is very effective. There's some pro players that don't use any of these special peeks, and they'll just do basic peeks like that. If you look at players like Herds, who is arguably one of the best mechanical players in the game, he only does peeks like this. He very rarely does other kind of like special peeks like Shyiko peeks or any other peeks that I'm going to show you later on. So they do work in games against good players. One thing to note with this peek though, is if you do it ADS, you're going to be moving slower, so it's going to mean that you're easier to hit for the enemies. So I like to do this peek for info, so I do it like un-ADS, and I don't like, so I can do it, move as fast as I can, rather than being ADS, where I have to then, like, I move slower. I mean, you can take shots doing that, but if you want to pair them together, you can do like a un-ADS to get the info, and then ADS and swing it. Or you can do like get the info then just wide swing it. So that's how you do the basic AD strafe, and that's how you can use it in game. You can get info from it, or you can ADS and try and get kills by doing it. Alright, so the next quick peek I'm going to talk about is another AD strafe. However, this one incorporates leaning into it as well. So instead of just AD strafing the angle like that, you're going to want to add in a lean to it. So you're going to start not leaning, then you want to lean into the angle and then lean back. So you lean the angle and lean back. So the keys that you do to press this is your A to strafe out, you Q at the same time as the A, so you go like QA, and then you come back with D, and then you press Q at the same time as well. So in like quicker speed, it looks like that. It's a little bit faster than the AD strafe because when you lean, your head moves fast compared to like if I'm just moving side to side. So it's a little bit harder to pull off than the normal AD strafe. However, it just adds that little bit of speed to it, that little bit of extra speed. The cool thing about leaning as well is you can add these different leaning mechanics together. So I can do like an AD strafe, or I can do like an AD strafe, and then I can start adding some leans into it as well. So I'll do like the AD strafe for the info, then I'll add some leans into it and try and get a kill from it. Changing up the patterns if you're leaning will make it less predictable for an enemy. So if you do like, you start off with like an AD strafe, and then you see somebody, and then you think, okay, I want to lean into that, so I'll like unlean and then I'll go back in, and it like, the head movement will be different because you're leaning into it a different way. So if they're trying to predict where your head's going to be, it's going to be different because you're changing up your patterns. Now, still quite basic, but we're getting into more advanced territory. Is I believe this peek was like popularized by a player called Noted when he played the game. But it's similar to the like lean peek that I just did. However, you do it while you're already leaning. So you start off leaning, you peek into the angle, you unlean, and then you go back, and then you lean again. So it's the same, just backwards. Like it's the same process, but you just start off by leaning. So instead of being unleaning, then you do it while you're leaning. So you lean like that, and as you can see, this one's more for info because when you lean away from the angle as you swing it, your head moves back. Doing this, it makes your head visible for like a split second, and then it goes away because you're leaning away from the angle. So when you if you're in a game and you're just trying to decide which one you should do out of the two leans that I've just showed you, like this one or the one before it. It kind of depends on the situation that you're in. Like this one is much better for getting info compared to trying to get kills from it. Like if I'm trying to get a kill from this, it's going to be quite awkward. I mean, you can take some pop shots off, but it's not really like reliable to like precisely aim. However, this one you can more aim while you swing it to get the headshot off while you swing that. So if you want to get like more info peeks, you might want to do the noted peek. If you want to get more like peeks for kills, then you might want to do the other lean peek. Now the next peek I'm going to talk about is crouch peeking. If I say crouch peeking, you would think I mean like peeking the angle and crouch like that, which is crouch peeking, but it's not the like quick peek version of it that I want to talk about. So if you want to to do this, you want to first start off by doing one of the other peeks. So you want to do you can either just do like a basic AD strafe, get with the info of where someone is if they're holding it. Now I know, okay, right, he's holding behind that CC unit, for example. So I want to do this a few times, and then I want to change up my angle and crouch peek it. It works better with like the natural gun rather than a pistol, so you can go out and then swing it. Just to change up your head angle. Like I said, changing up your patterns will mean that you don't get pre-fired off angles when you're quick peeking. If you find that when you're trying to quick peek, you're always just getting domed, like your head's just getting popped off, it's because you're not being unpredictable with it, you're being very predictable. You're probably just doing the same peek over and over again. So instead of that, you want to change it up when you go to try and get the kill from it. So you get the info from the other peeks, and then you do the crouch peek to get the kill, because they're going to see that you're swinging it, and they're going to be aiming head level like this, because that's where you're swinging it from, and then you come out crouch and they have to adjust to you. So it just creates a freebie for you at that point. So now we're getting into a little bit more advanced. We're getting into the Shyiko peek now. This is a very, very, very popular peek right now because it's very good and it's very strong. To do the Shyiko peek, you want to start off leaning on an angle. So let's go to this corner here. Now I'm starting off leaning. I want to go out and then unlean, like lean back the other way. Sorry, not unlean. And then when I lean back the other way, I want to move back and then press my lean key again. So I move out, I press Q. Like I move out with D, I press Q, and then I move back and I press E. It's very simple like to do. And then you can like speed up how fast you do it, like when you actually practice it a lot. All of these peaks might, like these more advanced peaks might take a bit more practice to do, but once you get them down, they're so easy to just like pull off on the fly in your games. So I can just like, if I don't know any info on CC, I can just start jiggling around the different angles, make sure no one's playing behind the, like close on the window. Check the head holes, okay, it's good. And then check CC, like that, stuff like that. You can just kind of go around checking different angles with the Shyiko peek. This one again is another info peek rather than a like peek to get kills with. So what I would like to do, what I would do is I would get the info from it, then I would swing out and pre-fire the info that I just got. Make sure as well if you're swinging out off the info from your quick peeks, you're doing it fast after you get that info, because let's say I see somebody holding this angle. Okay, so I've been jiggling it, I've got the info that somebody's there. If I then wait, like I say, I wait in cover to like prep myself to swing it, he could have moved by that point. He could have even run across to here and then be holding this angle for a freebie on you. So make sure if you're going to swing after you get the info from your quick peek, you do it fast. Alright, so the final peek I want to talk about is the hash home peek. This is probably one of the most broken peeks at the minute, and it's very easy to pull off. It's simply just an AD strafe that you're prone into as well. So you want to like go out in the angle, prone it, and then prone back, like stand up again and then come back. But you want to do it fast. Obviously if I do this, I'm just a freebie, but if you do it like this, all that's visible to the enemy when you swing the angle like that is your shoulder and your knee, I believe. Like they can't see your head at all. I'm gonna hopefully get a match replay clip of this to show you what it looks like for the enemy. But it doesn't, like they don't see your head if you do it correctly. Like let's say someone's on these head holes, if I'm jiggling it like this, they will not be able to see my head properly if I'm doing it right. And then you can just get the info and swing out and pre-fire. So it's a very, very strong peek to use for info. Thanks if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. I do have a Discord server now that'll be linked in the description down below. So if you want to join that and chat with me, if you have any siege questions, you can either leave it in a comment or leave it down in that Discord. Or if you want to try and play with me maybe, then just join the Discord and we'll get some games going. So yeah, if you enjoyed, drop a like and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.